Being a beginner in Warzone can be pretty difficult, especially when you're met with so many guns, tons of attachments, and loads of perks to choose from. But don't worry, because today I'm going to help you out with that by showing you the best and easiest loadout possible that's going to result in you getting more wins and kills in every single game. I'm going to talk you through the best loadout to use that has no unlock challenges, so all the weapons are usable right from the get-go. On top of that, I'm going to give you the best beginner level, fully leveled, and pro level attachments for each gun, as well as all the attachment tuning to ensure you can make the most of the guns from the get-go. Don't forget to stay around until the end of the video, as I'm going to give you some great tips and tricks to help you level up your guns to max level in around half an hour. So let's jump straight into the loadout. But that being said, custom loadouts aren't accessible until operator level 5, so if you're not quite there yet, save this video and come back to it when you are. For the primary weapon, we're going to be taking the Sakin MG38 LMG, which you will have unlocked from player level 5. Don't worry, I'm going to get into the attachments and everything else in more detail later on, but we need to get the bare bones of the loadout set up before we can get into that. Then for the secondary weapon, we are taking the Vel 46 submachine gun, which will unlock at player level 5. This weapon is an extremely versatile, lightweight gun with a great time to kill. However, to select this gun instead of a pistol, we're going to need to have a certain set of perks attached. The perk package we'll be going for is Weapon Specialist. This contains Overkill, which means you can carry 2 primary weapons, so in this case the Sakin MG38 LMG and the Vel 46 submachine gun, and then Strong Arm, which allows you to throw equipment further and see a preview of the trajectory as well, meaning you can know exactly where your lethal or tactical grenades are going to end up, just really helping you out in those clutch moments. And then onto Spotter, which allows you to spot enemy equipment, field upgrades and kill streaks all through walls. Aiming down the sight of your weapon will allow you to highlight them for the rest of your team. You can also hack enemy claymores, proximity mines, C4, trophy systems, etc, so you can take ownership of them. So, if an enemy runs into a claymore that you've hacked, it's going to explode on them. And then looking at the last perk, it is the Survivor perk, which when you get downed, pings the enemy that downed you. You also get revived faster by allies, which is a really clutch beginner level perk, as it's really going to help you out and just make the game far more forgiving. Now moving on to the equipment. For the lethal grenade, we're going to be taking the frag grenade. This is a cookable fragmentation grenade that will explode after a set amount of time. So whilst you can just pull the pin and throw it straight away at an enemy and wait for it to explode, this either gives them the opportunity to either A, throw it back, or B, run away. There is a little bit of a learning curve with this one, as you can pull the pin, hold it for a set amount of time, let go and make it explode upon impact. However, equally, if you hold the grenade too long, it can just blow up in your arm instead. So there is a little bit of that learning curve. And then moving on to the tactical equipment, we're going to be taking the flash grenade. This blinds and deafens the enemies in a set radius. This will either give you the chance to make a hasty retreat or to push up and kill your enemy, as they won't be able to see or hear you coming. So let's move on to the attachments for the Sakin MG38. We'll start off with the best beginner level attachments. For the barrel, we're going to be taking the Kaisel Dawn barrel. This is unlocked at weapon level 9, and it helps out at damage range, hip fire accuracy, and bullet velocity, just really extending out that damage range, and the bullet velocity as well was really important on this gun. And now taking a look at the underbarrel, we're going to be taking the Cronin WL55, which is unlocked at weapon level 7, and this helps out with aiming idle stability, aim walking steadiness, and recoil steadiness. And now taking a look at the rear grip, we are going to be taking the Bruin G305 grip wrap. This is unlocked at weapon level 10, and this helps out of your recoil control. And now moving over to the stock, we are going to be taking the FTAC Condor stock. This helps out of your recoil control and is unlocked at weapon level 11. And lastly, onto the optic, we are going to be taking the DR582 hybrid sight. This gives you a much clearer optic whilst aiming down sight, and this is unlocked at weapon level 5. You can see the full build on the screen now, but it's worth noting whilst building this gun, the key areas that you're going to be wanting to focus on is range and recoil control. Recoil control usually being the optimum thing for a long range weapon. Now moving on to the fully leveled attachments. For the barrel, we're going to be taking the 20-inch Bruin Silver Series barrel. This helps out at bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, and hip fire accuracy, and this is unlocked at weapon level 16. And taking a look at the tuning on this attachment, on the left hand slider, we are going to be putting it mostly towards recoil steadiness by adding plus 0.35 pounds of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we are ever so slightly going to be moving this towards aim down sight speed by taking away minus 0.04 inches of length. So that's on the left hand side ever so slightly, guys. And now onto the underbarrel, we're going to be taking the Bruin Warrior grip. This helps out with aiming idle stability, aim walking steadiness, recoil steadiness, and recoil stabilization. Again, really just extending out that recoil control, as it's extremely important. This is unlocked at weapon level 12. And for the tuning on this one, a little bit surprising, and I know I keep talking about recoil stabilization, but we're not actually going to be focusing on that on the tuning on this one. It's already helped out a lot in the attachment, so we are going to be putting it towards, on the left hand slider, down towards aim down sight speed, we are going to be taking away minus 0.36 ounces of weight. And then looking at the bottom slider, we're going to be leaving it exactly as it is. We don't want to touch that. It's a fine balance as is. And now taking a look at the rear grip, we are going to be taking the Bruin G305 grip wrap, and this helps out with your recoil control and is unlocked at weapon level 10. And taking a look at the tuning on this one, we are going to be putting it mostly towards recoil steadiness. We're going to be adding 0.65 ounces of weight, and then on the bottom slider, again, we're not going to be touching it here. It's good as is. And taking a look at the stock, we are going to be taking the F-TAC Condor stock for additional recoil control, and this is unlocked at weapon level 11. And for the tuning on this one, on the left-hand slider, we are going to be putting it ever so slightly towards the aim down sight speed by taking away 0.9 ounces of weight. So that's negative 0.9 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're not going to be touching it here. Just leave it as is. It's great as is. And lastly, taking a look at the optic, we are taking the DR582 hybrid sight again, as it gives you a great precision picture. And this is unlocked at weapon level 5. And for the tuning on this one, on the optic, we're going to be putting it slightly towards the aim down sight speed by taking away 0.48 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we are going to be putting it all the way to the right hand side. You want to do this on every single optic, the bottom slider, as making it as far away as possible from the eye reduces that visual recoil, making it a lot easier to land your shots. So we're going to be putting it at minus 0.75 inches from eye position. You can see the full build on the screen now. And yes, I've added the tunings around each attachment. Left of the attachment is the left hand slider and bottom of the attachment is the bottom slider. Now moving on to the pro level attachments, this will include some hard to get attachments that you unlock by leveling up other weapons, but I've tried to keep them as simple as possible whilst giving you the best tactical edge possible. So taking a look at the barrel, again, we're going to be taking the 20-inch Bruin Silver Series barrel. This is unlocked at weapon level 16, and the tuning on this one may be different. Again, all these attachment tunings may be different because we've got different attachments on now. And the tuning on this one, on the left-hand slider, we're going to be cranking it mostly up towards the top-hand side for recoil steadiness. We're going to add 0.35 pounds of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we are going to be putting it ever so slightly towards the aim down sight speed. We're going to be taking away 0.04 inches of length. And now taking a look at the muzzle, we're going to be taking the Castovia DX90. This helps out with sound suppression, bullet velocity, recoil smoothness, and recoil control. And this is unlocked by getting to operator level 23, which will unlock the Kastov 7.62 assault rifle. You'll then need to get that to weapon level 2. And then for the tuning on this one, on the left-hand slider, we're going to be putting it mostly towards recoil smoothness. We're going to add 0.72 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're going to be putting it mostly to the right-hand side for additional bullet velocity. We're going to add 0.65 inches of length. And then taking a look at the underbarrel, we're going to be taking the Bruin Warrior Grip. This is unlocked at weapon level 12. And for the tuning on this one, we're going to be taking the left-hand slider ever so slightly towards recoil stabilization by adding 0.1 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're not touching this one yet again, as we don't really want to affect anything here. And now taking a look at the rear grip, we're going to be taking the Bruin G305 grip wrap. This helps out of recoil control and is unlocked at weapon level 10. And then for the tuning on this one, we're going to be on the left-hand slider, mainly taking it towards aim down sight speed by taking away 0.45 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're not going to be touching it yet again, as we really don't want to affect either or of those stats. And lastly, taking a look at the optic, we are going to be taking the VLK 4.0 optic. This is unlocked by getting to operator level 23 to unlock the Kastov 7.62. That one you did for the muzzle attachment on this gun. Then you'll need to get the Kastov 7.62 to weapon level 4. So whilst you're grinding out that Kastov, you may as well get it all the way to weapon level 4. And then for the tuning on that one, on the left-hand slider, we're going to be putting it mainly down towards aim down sight speed. We're going to be taking away 1.65 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're going to be putting it all the way to the right-hand side to make the far eye position to reduce visual recoil. And we're going to be taking away 1.35 inches of eye position. You can see the full build on the screen now. And as you can see now, the tuning is surrounding the weapon. The slider isn't necessarily accurate, but the numbers below and beside it are. If you are enjoying this video though, and you want to see more no nonsense guys, then hit that subscribe button and you'll see plenty more of that. Now let's move on to the attachments for your secondary weapon, the Vel 46. We'll start off by taking the best beginner level attachments. So taking a look at the barrel, we're going to be taking the Lachman Dart 165mm. This is unlocked at weapon level 4, and this helps out of recoil control and bullet velocity. Taking a look at the underbarrel, we're going to be taking the Bruin Warrior Grip. This helps out of hip fire accuracy accuracy, hip fire recoil control, aim walking steadiness, and recoil steadiness. And this is unlocked at weapon level 3. And then taking a look at the magazine, we're going to be taking the 50 round mag. Pretty self-explanatory, this one. Gives you 50 bullets to a magazine. And this is unlocked at weapon level 7. And then taking a look at the stock, take the Demo RXT stock for better crouch movement speed, sprint speed, and aim down sight speed. And this is unlocked at weapon level 8. And lastly, onto the optic, we're taking the Corvus Sol 76. This helps out by getting rid of the iron sights and giving you a much better precision sight. And this is unlocked at weapon level 5. You can see the full build on the screen now. And now moving on to the fully leveled attachments. For the barrel, we're going to be taking the Lachman Dart 165mm. This helps out of recoil control and bullet velocity and is unlocked at weapon level 4. And for the tuning on this one, we're going to be adding, on the left hand slider, we're going to be taking it towards recoil steadiness by adding 0.15 pounds of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're going to be putting it towards the left hand side, so aim down sight speed, taking away 0.1 inches of length. And then onto the muzzle, we're going to be taking the Singard MKV, which is unlocked at weapon level 16. And this helps out of sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. And for the tuning on this one, on the left sider, we are going to be taking it down towards aim down sight speed, so taking away 0.54 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're going to be putting it towards bullet velocity by adding 0.55 inches of length. And taking a look at the rear grip, we're going to be taking the Schlager Soldier grip. This helps out of sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed and is unlocked at weapon level 25. And for the tuning on this, on the left slider, we're going to be taking it down towards aim down sight speed by taking away 0.35 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we are going to be taking it to the left hand side, so sprint to fire speed, by taking away 0.19 inches of width. And now onto the stock, we're going to be taking the Demo RXT stock to help out of crouch movement speed, sprint speed, and aim down sight speed. And this is unlocked at weapon level 8. And for the tuning, on the left hand slider, we're going to be taking it down towards aim down sight speed by taking away 1.42 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, leave it as is. We don't need to change this at all. Now taking a look at the optic, we're going to be taking the Corvus Sol 76 again. Again, this just gives you a precision sight, better than the iron sights anyway. And for the tuning on this, on the left hand slider, take it down towards aim down sight speed by taking away 0.77 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, take it all the way to the right hand side by making it far as possible from the eye by taking away 1.8 inches of eye position. You can see the full build on the screen now with all the tuning around the side of each attachment. Again, the slider isn't accurate, it's just to tell you if it's left or right or up or down, but the numbers are completely accurate. And lastly, moving on to the pro level attachments, this will include some hard to get attachments that you will unlock by leveling up some other weapons as well, but I've tried to keep this as simple as possible whilst giving you the best tactical edge possible as well. So for the barrel, we're going to be taking the Lachman Dart 165mm, which is unlocked at weapon level 4. It's a great attachment, helps out of recoil control and bullet velocity. And again, tuning may be different on the same attachments. It's just because we've got different attachments in total now. So we want to be taking that down towards aim walking speed by taking away 0.1 pounds of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're going to be taking it towards aim down sight speed by taking away 0.17 inches of length. And now taking a look at the muzzle, we're going to be taking the Forged DX90F. This helps out of sound suppression and recoil smoothness. And this is unlocked by getting to operator level 41 to unlock the STB 56 assault rifle. You'll then need to get that to weapon level 13 to unlock the MX9 SMG. You'll then need to get that to weapon level 15. And then for the tuning on this one, take it down towards aim down sight speed on the left hand slider by taking away 0.41 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're not going to be touching it here, just no need to edit that whatsoever. And now taking a look at the underbarrel, we're going to be taking the VX Pineapple. This is unlocked by getting to operator level 5 to unlock the M4 assault rifle. You'll then need to get the M4 to weapon level 19 to unlock the 5.56 Icarus LMG, and then you'll need to get that to weapon level 14. But this VX Pineapple grip is used on every single assault rifle in the game as it provides the best horizontal recoil control going, so it's definitely worth unlocking this one. And for the tuning on this, on the left hand slider, we're going to be taking it down towards hip walking speed by taking away 0.13 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're going to be taking it towards aim down sight speed by taking away 0.1 inches of length. And now taking a look at the optic, this optic is used across every single SMG. Again, a really pivotal one to unlock, and quite fortunately very easy to unlock as well, as all you need to do is get to operator level 9 to unlock the Expedite 12 shotgun. You'll then need to get that to weapon level 7. And for the tuning on this one, I'm going to be taking it mostly down towards the bottom for aim down sight speed on the left hand slider by taking away 1.74 ounces of weight. And then on the bottom slider, we're going to be taking it all the way to the right hand side for the far eye position, so minus 2.25 inches of eye position. And lastly, for the laser, we're going to be taking the AccuShot 5mm laser. This helps out with aim down sight speed. In fact, it drastically increases aim down sight speed, makes it a lot snappier, and it also helps out with aiming stability visibility. However, this laser is visible to your enemies and to people on your team as well, so people can see if you're pre-aiming a door, they look for a window or something like that. So just bear that in mind when you're playing with it. But since this gun aims down sight really quickly, you shouldn't need to sort of pre-aim things too much. And no, lasers cannot be tuned, so you can see the full build on the screen now with all the tunings around the side of each attachment. And no, the sliders aren't the exact position. That'd be really complicated and hard for you to view, but the numbers are completely correct. They either show left or right for the slider or up or down, just so you know which way you're going. So that's it for all the weapons and their attachments. However, if you are looking for the quickest way to level up weapons all the way to max level inside of half an hour per weapon, then you'll want to be jumping into a game of Warzone 2 and just start completing as many contracts as possible. The easiest and most efficient ones to complete are the safe cracker and intel missions, but don't forget to have your weapon that you want to level up out and equipped when you complete the mission. This will allow you to gain weapon XP. If you don't have it out, simply put, you're not going to gain any weapon XP towards that upon completing the mission. Also, don't forget to equip your double weapon XP tokens for double the XP. However, if you want to know the quickest way to get your loadout guns without having to take a visit to the safe house, I've made an extremely quick guide that will help you get your favorite weapon in just under 2 minutes. So click on the video on the left hand side of the screen for that. Alternatively, if you wanted to know the best sound settings for Warzone 2 to make your enemies' footsteps much louder, then click on the video on the right hand side of the screen. If you did enjoy this video though, and you want to see more no nonsense, straightforward guides, then click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the best guides for Warzone 2.